So the third ODI between India and Australia at Ranchi, where Australia brought the series down to 2-1, kind of took me back to my childhood. So I was born in 1982, which means that my cricket watching career started sometime in the early 90s. And pretty much for the first 7 or 8 years, there was one story in terms of Indian cricket, that if Sachin Tendulkar does well, then India does well. If he gets out early, then it's time to switch off the TV. And this game was pretty much followed the same pattern. I mean, if you just we'll start with the individual contributions here. You just look down India's win percentage for all the players. 25% for Virat Kohli. There's I think 3% for Vijay Shankar with 32 of 30. Everybody else is negative. So it was as much of a one-man show as you can get, yeah, in ODI cricket nowadays. And I mean, for Australia, I mean, the two main fast bowlers, Pat Cummins and Jai Richardson, both had great games, and the others didn't do particularly badly. And the Australian top three, I think, again clicked, even though their final score of the 315 was well under the par. I think they managed to hold on to it and defend it. So the story of the game was that was pretty much that. I mean, Australia started off with a massive first wicket partnership. I mean, well into the into 30 overs. It was only sometime in the around the 31st over or so that, yeah, Australia lost their first wicket for 193, which you might recall is the same score at which India lost their first wicket, batting first in the fourth ODI in Mohali, which I've covered in another video. And then, but then here, unlike India in the next game, I mean, Australia didn't really make use of their strong start. I mean, India actually bowled well. There was a period where Australia made only 18 for 3 in 27 balls, which in a 300 game is a absolutely big deal. And finally, I think they were well short. I mean, Australia were well on course for a 350 in this game, but then they ended up with only 313. And then India again kind of started off badly. I mean, so this is one of the things, right? I mean, India has a great top three. There's Shikhar Dhawan, Rohit Sharma, and Virat Kohli. But if they fail, somehow the middle order hasn't really been tested. I mean, you don't really know. It's very hard to know how really good people like KL Rahul or Kedar Jadhav or Ambati Rayudu are. And my analysis suggests that, I mean, there's a bit of a sameness to the Indian middle order. I mean, Rayudu, Dhoni, and Jadhav are all very similar players. They all like to kind of settle down first and then kind of start belting and so on. So, and in a slightly tough chase this game, I mean, that can become a bit of a problem. So what you had in this game is, I mean, let's just look at the individual performance of Kohli, and then that'll kind of put the game in perspective. You see that pretty much all the greens here, despite so many greens by Kohli, which means that a green in this context is when somebody moves the needle towards his own team. So Kohli was kept pulling it down, but his partners at the other end, be it Raidu or Dhoni or Jadhav, they just kept pulling it back in the other direction. I mean, Raidu, to his credit, only made only 2 in 8 hit out or get out, but Dhoni and Jadhav both kind of took a very long time to settle in, which is not great in the chase of 280. So that ended up kind of hurting India. And despite Kohli doing a plus 25, his the batsmen at the other end kind of together contributed to a minus 25. So he left India where India had been when he really came in at the fall of Shikhar Dhawan's wicket. And then finally, India started tail didn't wag. I mean, Ravindra Jadeja at 8. I don't know. I don't really know if his batting is good enough for him to be at 8, and whether he merits a place in the side. I mean, in the fourth ODI, he did get dropped for Yuzvendra Chahal. So it was a easy win for Australia finally. But yeah, I mean, it was it was a 90s show. Kohli did well, and then once Kohli got out, it was time to switch off the TV or Hotstar or whatever you watched on. Okay, as I mentioned in the previous video, I mean, all the T20s and ODI games are now live. So you can check out cricket.bespokedatainsights.com/live ODI or live T20 to see so there's a script which kind of passes every game as it happens, and you can see what the status of the game is, who's ahead, how the game has progressed so far, who has contributed how much to the team's performance. Pretty much the same graph, but at a midpoint of the innings and so on. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it and make use of it. Do share and give feedback on the videos and on the app itself. So I'll see you soon. Bye.